Good afternoon and welcome. This is the One-Up Nitro National Series, race number 2 of 25. And we're going somewhere new this time. It is the winding road course at Road Atlanta to get our road course portion of the season underway. And alongside me in the booth, as usual for the Nitro National Series, is Duke Anzac. We've got a lot of big names in this field, and with our road course king gone to the Superstar Series, where he's already scored a big win, now the door is wide open for everybody else to stake their claims as the new road course master.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's a few other guys in this field that have had some really good runs at road courses in the past. But you're right. There's a lot of fast cars in this field, and really anybody can take this one. From that whole front half of this starting order. Everybody's pretty close in the qualifying times, and it's going to be a good race. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of contenders, and it's going to be really exciting to watch.
We'll see if it becomes one of those hotly contested road races, or if it's going to be one where one driver just cleans house. Looking at the starting lineup now, coming out of a disappointing Pensacola weekend, where he's exited that race at a negative points total, Alex Vergeperu puts his number 3 on pole position once again. He's got rookie Yates Turzak alongside him in his first race with Carter Racing Systems in the 00. Teammates Ryan Caggiano and Joshua Michaels are in row 2, with Autumn Koger rounding out the top 5. And we've got some big names starting up front. Aaron Hall is up there. Patrick Smith in the 04 rounds out the top 10. Alexa Lucian just outside the top 10. Dylan Young right behind her. And we've got a lot of big guys making their series debuts as well. So I'm just curious, where do you even begin to look as far as contenders are concerned?
Yeah, me personally, I begin to look at pole position. Alex Vergeperu, of course, I'm looking there though. I think that he's got a real good shot today. He's got a big gap to try to dig out of right now in the point standings. But there's a lot of other guys. I think that Yates Turzak is going to be a big surprise. Already has been this season. Last week having a really good run, and now starting second place today. And of course, Ryan Caggiano, like normal. I think that Alexa Lucian could come from 11th and have some luck in this one, maybe get up there. So lots of good drivers to look for in this race, and it's going to be interesting to see where they all end up and who's better and what part of this track. And road racing is back, and it's alive and well. It's fun to see.
So with that being said, we got a chaotic race in front of us. We're going to get ready for 31 laps around Road Atlanta. The green flag is next. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss a moment of the road racing from Road Atlanta in the One-Up Nitro National Series. As they round the final corner, Alex and Yates Turzak lead them to the line. The green flag is out. We're underway at Road Atlanta. And Alex gets a good jump on the field here. They're going to fan out a little bit. Ryan Caggiano surges ahead of Turzik into second place.
Yeah, really good track position right there to be on the right side. That's where you want to be to go into that first corner. And here they come down.
Oh, three of them wide, and we got one in the wall, and it's Nicky Martinez in the 25. Rasha Mahendra goes wide to avoid her. James Wells and Ricky Freeman Jr. take evasive action as well. And now we're going to see, Dylan Young goes sideways, as does Elijah Ironhouse. We got a lot of them sliding around in the calamity corner of this racetrack, but the rest of them make it through cleanly. But it's a race game over for Nicky Martinez before she even completed a single lap.
Wow, that was incredibly chaotic. So much stuff going on there. Of course, no yellows. Man, oh man, that was crazy. But now, look, Alex Vergeperu still out front and extending that lead early in this race. On lap 1, we've already had a ton of craziness. This one, what's to come in this race? It's absolutely crazy.
But if there's anyone who I believe can track down this 3, it's Ryan Caggiano in that 81. He's a very good road racer himself, and he's got 2/3 of a second between himself and the leading Chevrolet. Alex Vergeperu leads lap 1, his first lap's led of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the danger area. I'm so curious. Maybe if there was some moisture on the track, or I don't know what was going on there, but that was absolutely crazy. You can see the skid marks. So many cars just slid off the track there. I guess there's just a bunch of them too close to each other, because now everybody's got a ton of grip through there, ready to rumble for the rest of this race. We're already on lap 2, and we're seeing this 81 catch up just little by little, trying to catch up to this 3 car.
And you can see on the leaderboard, the top 8 have checked out from the rest of the field. Alexa Lucian in 9 after just 1 lap, already 11 seconds off the pace from Alex Verstappen. And with no pit stops to speak of, or yellow flags to bunch them up, I think these are going to be the 8 cars battling it out for the win here.
Yeah, it's a tough break early. Of course, lots of racing to go, and we just saw a lot of good cars slide off the track seemingly at random. So I'm not ruling that out as a possibility for the rest of this race. Somebody to just kind of go sliding, having just the time of their life, sliding off the track like it's a slip and slide. So it's always a possibility, these crazy races we've got here. But yeah, this 81 has a genuine shot catching up. I think the 3 is starting to maybe catch up a little bit on speed there. So and here's Yates Turzak with a great opportunity in the 00 car, a car that was so strong last season. Now he's having a great run so far.
This car won 4 races last year with Sam Denotto behind the wheel. This is Yates Turzak's first outing in this 00. He's making the most of it from outside pole. He lost a spot to Ryan Caggiano, but he's still running solidly in 3rd position. And with Aaron Hall a second behind the 00, he's not in any danger of losing that spot anytime soon.
Yeah, and let's be honest, but he only lost that position because it was poor positioning. It's stuck on the what was the outside lane, the left side of that corner. No chance there. This corner right here, I mean, it's a tight corner. Everybody on the right side is going to get a good run. So he was able to maintain 3rd place, which is excellent. And now he's able to go and try to chase down these leaders.
Coming down the S's for the 4th time in this race. Here you see the 8 cars in contention right now. It is Alex Verstappen leading. Ryan Caggiano and Yates Turzak, we've already talked about. Aaron Hall in 4th. Joshua Michaels, the Pensacola winner, rounds out the top 5. With Autumn Koger, Patrick Smith, and Kyle Corbett, the remaining cars. But they're starting to lose touch a little bit. Corbett's now 6.7 off the lead. And Alexa Lucian hasn't lost that much in comparison. So these top 8 could get strung out enough to where Lucian could become a contender once again.
Yeah, I think that Lucian and others that are close behind will have a shot to make up some positions in this race. Whether they're able to catch up to these leaders, I don't know. I don't think so, but there's always a chance that these guys get in a bit of a scuffle up here. But we'll just have to see how it all plays out. Of course, right now it seems pretty calm up front, and as we know already in this race, that can change dramatically very quickly. So it's looking good for these guys out front. I think Alexa Lucian has got a shot to make it probably up into the top 5 or 6 possibly in this race. But right now the top 4 or 5 are looking like the strongest of the bunch at the moment.
Yeah, so Alex Verstappen continues to lead the way. It's no surprise. He's always good on the road courses. His last win, as a matter of fact, came on a road course. It was at Valkenburg last season, where he led every lap of that race. Could he be set to do the same here today? Not if Ryan Caggiano has anything to say about it, as they come up down this long straightaway here at Road Atlanta. They go flying by. They reach a top speed here of about 180 miles per hour before braking hard for the final sequence of corners. And right about here is where they make the sharp turn into the final few. Yep, there we go. Right into that downhill section, coming to the line, and Caggiano is just doing everything he can right now to keep Alex within sight. But we'll see what the gap's growing all the time. It's up to a full second now as we look back. Here's Alexa Lucian in the 9th position. She's starting to gain on Kyle Corbett and Patrick Smith a little bit. She's not losing nearly as much time to the leader as Smith and Corbett are. So this could be an interesting battle worth keeping an eye on for the rest of this race.
You're absolutely right, and this is that's just going to be, it was all due to that weird lap 1 we had with a bunch of people going off the track, and everybody slows down, and when there's a situation with cars spinning out like out of nowhere. You're like, what's going on? The spotters are yelling.
Oh, we got a smoker in front of the leaders, and it looks like it's a black car.
No.
It's the 53 of Kenneth Grant. He's going to have his second DNF of the season in as many races. A heartbreak for that 53 team. The Pensacola winner a season ago. Now he's got 2 straight DNFs to get his season started.
That's a tough break. Tough break for anybody who starts the season with that many DNFs. Going off to the exit. Oh, and sliding through the grass now. Not very good for Kenneth Grant.
He should be able to make it to the pits, though, with that under his own power. He's trying his best to not get a fluid on the racetrack in the racing line. And he's staying well out of the way of everybody else. He's getting passed by his teammate now. And he's getting well out of the racing line now. And he's gonna make a move onto pit road, and that'll be game, set, and match for Kenneth Grant. He will finish 39th in this race, the second retiree on lap number 7.
Yeah, Kenneth Grant, bad break. But you know, it's just mechanical failure. You got to put it behind you, move on to the next race. So for now, we've got a bunch of cars racing for position back here. It's the 52. It's Keon Daly, and
it looks like he's got a little bit of damage actually on that 52 machine on the back end of that 52. I wonder if he got that in that free for all in that corner on lap number 1. This corner right here. You see a lot more skids getting up now, and I wonder if Keon Daly was part of that. And now we look back to the car behind him, Cody Goforth, who had a tough impact at Pensacola. He was allowed to start this race at the back. And he hasn't made too much headway since. He must be shaking off the rust a little bit there. He's currently running in, I believe, the 34th position right now. Back up front, it's Alex Verget-Berube, who continues to lead by about a second over Ryan Caggiano and by 2.4 over Yates Turzak and Berube.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure that they got on everybody's radio after that lap 1. In multiple corners on lap 1, people are wrecking. You know, get on people's radio, say, hey, look at there's some craziness going on in this pack. Just stay calm, stay cool, stay collected here, and that's when Alex is performing at the absolute best. You know, just consistent laps, consistent hitting your marks. You know, that's totally the mantra of this whole number 3 team. You know, just always consistent, right there. Ready to pounce and you know, staying out front. It makes it really tough for people to catch up and make time, and it's just, you know, no mistakes out of this 3 car right now. So very looking really good for Alex Verget-Berube and his whole team right now in this race.
Entering lap number 9, he's built his gap up to 1.2 seconds over Ryan Caggiano, so doing everything he needs to do, just putting no foot wrong in this race. Making the run down the S's here, and as we look through the rest of the field here, and everybody's falling way off the pace of the race leaders here, and the last car on the racetrack, Talon Soapblue in the 38, we expected him to be pretty good on these road courses, but he is 41 seconds off the lead after a poor qualifying effort. But all 38 cars that are running in this race are on the lead lap. But as you can see, Alex doing a little bit of a slide off that corner, going down this long undulating straightaway here. It's just going to be interesting to see if he can hold on the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm so curious now because we were not expecting this field to be so spread out early in this race. I mean, it was just circumstantial that they all got spread out like that. But I'm curious now, with so many laps left still in this race, will we start to see a little bit of lap traffic? I mean, the lap times, you know, are they're in the 110 bracket, you know, and people 40 seconds behind. That's more than halfway back from the leaders, you know, so they've only got half the track, and if the, you know, as you go back through the field, it slows because there's racing going on, people close to each other. So yeah, it's going to be interesting if they catch lap traffic, because that will be a big time hold up to all these drivers. Total curveball. You never expect to see that at a road course like this.
So Alex Verget-Berube continues his joyride at the front of the field. He's trying to gain as many points as he possibly can to make up for that penalty he sustained at Pensacola. But he's doing it. Well, he's doing a good job of it right now. He's led every lap so far. He's got almost max points. I think Ryan Caggiano has the fastest lap right now. but he's got all but 1 point available to him right now, and he's taking all but one of them. So that should be, I believe, 47 points going his way, which will get him at least out of the hole to get the season started. That should boost him pretty far up the order as well.
Yeah, and this team needs some luck. I mean, the whole organization, of course, I'm speaking from personal experience with it. There has not been a lot of luck with any of these cars so far this year. So to have a good run like this, the mentality of the team, even just through 11 laps in this race, is definitely going to be rising, and that's only going to help. Momentum is so huge in this sport. To have some happy people who are confident that you're going to be able to contend for wins every single week, that's a big deal. So good on this team for having a good run so far.
So Alex continues to lead the way here. He's got about a 1.4 second advantage over Ryan Caggiano. This is just going to be interesting to see if he can actually hang on to this lead, or if Caggiano can start clawing it back a little bit. But I'm not so sure he's going to be able to at this point, because it looks like Alex has something that the rest of the field just doesn't have at this point.
Yeah, that 81, right? I mean, he's losing a little bit just every single lap, and he's following right in the tire tracks of the 3 car. So it's a lot of road course experience with Alex Verget-Berube, and of course Ryan Caggiano here is he's doing good. He's stayed kind of. We can still see him. That's something. He's almost a second and a half back now. He's lost a half second since he was a second back, which doesn't sound like it's that intelligent of a thing to say. But he's really just hanging on. He's running right in the tire tracks. He's making good laps here, but it's just not as good as the car right ahead of him.
So Ryan Caggiano continues to fall off the lead. He's now about 1.5 back. Yates Turzak continues on in third, a further second behind. Aaron Hall 4th, Joshua Michaels rounds out the top 5, and Kyle Corbett in 8th is almost fallen into the clutches of Alexa Luchon in 9th. So that could be a battle we're keeping an eye on, as well as Autumn Koger and Patrick Smith. They've also fallen well off the top 5. So this could be a 4-car battle for 6 in a little while here.
Yeah, that for sure. And the 50, it is a shame that there was so much chaos on lap 1, because that 50 car, I mean, only has lost about 2 seconds to the leader.
It looks like we got one on pit road. It's the pole sitter from Pensacola, John McFadden, in the 76. He had a poor qualifying effort here, but he was doing a fairly steady job. So as you can see, he's going down the straightaway, trying to make the corner, and it just looks like the car gives out a little bit. He loses power, at least, and he makes way for the rest of the field to get by him, which was only a couple cars. And unlike Kenneth Grant, he could not make it back under his own power. He has to get a tow back, and this will drop him off the lead lap at least, maybe even a few laps down in this race, if he can even continue at all.
Yeah, he's stuck in that spot right there, and not able to continue. So that's a tough break. He's still sitting in the pit lane though, so I guess that's a good sign. They're working on it at least. So get out there, get some experience, get some laps on this track, and come back next time stronger and faster. So meanwhile, it looks like Caggiano has gained a little bit on Alex Verget-Berube in the 3 car.
Yeah, the gap's down to 1.1 back now. Yeah, Alex has gained about 3/4 of a second on Alex there, a little bit, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough, because we're closing in on halfway in this race. The tires are starting to fall off, the cars are getting lighter, a lighter fuel load, and at this point, it's just, I think Alex Verget-Berube is one of the best in the field when it comes to managing. Getting these cars to the end of the race, because we saw this at Valkenburg. He dominated last year. He dominated that race by managing, staying out of the wall, staying off the curbs when possible, and right now he's just making it work.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch him turn laps at a track like this. 31 laps at Road Atlanta is just, it seems pretty daunting. And of course, the gap has not changed a lot there. It was 300ths or 600ths that it changed, but you know that it's amazing to watch that he's able to keep his car happy the whole time while also setting laps that are faster than everybody else. It's something just that little tick that he has that really makes it just better than everybody else. It really is incredible to watch. It's a lot of fun, and we've got Ryan Caggiano, who, you know, and to his credit, has stayed within 2 seconds of him, the only one so far to do it. You know, but it just seems like he's able to kind of stay in that range between 1 and 1.5 seconds back, but it just is not enough to gain on Alex at all. So watching him, he's just following the tire tracks of that 81. So, he's looking really good right now. Coming around these corners, he's not touching the curbs. He's doing all the right things in that 81 car, but it's just not quite at as much speed as the 3. Oh, he's lost a few tenths on that lap. It was a really good lap for Alex. You can see everybody's adjust. They have fallen back from the leader a lot on that last lap. So Alex found something on that one, maybe figured out one of the corners he was struggling on. But yeah, just all calm, all cool for Alex Vergeberub leading this race.
Yeah, so we've taken the halfway lap, so this race will be official. It is Ryan Caggiano running second on the racetrack, and the top 20 separated by 34 seconds now on this racetrack, and it's growing all the time. John McFadden looks like he did manage to get back on the racetrack. Yeah, you can see him in the far shot, just ahead of the leaders. He is 3 laps down in that 76, so good on that BTB Motorsports crew for getting him back out there. But he's not going to be in contention for the win, obviously. That's been Alex's domain this race. He's led every lap so far, and he's got no inclination of slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, since the last time we checked, I think it was around lap 9 when we saw the gap between Alex and those who are in the back of the pack, the very back. Since that point, he's gained about 12 seconds on them. They're about at 52 seconds back at this point. So, that's still closing in on the potential for a little bit of lap traffic. I think, hopefully, there's a little bit of management going on that will allow these guys to not catch him. But, of course, John McFadden back on the track. I don't know if he's going to be slower than these guys necessarily. He might have some fresh tires on that thing.
And a full tank of fuel as well.
Of course, yeah. So, we'll see if they catch him. It looks like he's gained quite a bit. Yeah, he's gaining on the leaders. So, I don't think that he's going to become a factor in this race, but of course anything is possible. We saw a little bit of craziness in the beginning, so it's absolutely possible for this 76 car to be in the way later, but I don't expect it.
So we've gotten halfway in this race. Alex Vergeberub has led throughout. Ryan Caggiano has the fastest lap for the race. John McFadden's actually set a pretty good lap on his own. He's 24th on the board in that regard. But no one's got anything for this 3 car as of right now. We often forgot last year with Mark Davey winning all those road races and making a move up to the Superstar Series. We often forgot that Alex is a pretty good road racer himself. He's got a win at Valkenburg, and he ran pretty well at the other road races. He ran well at Watkins Glen, at Indianapolis. He ran pretty good at Denver too. Yeah, so at this point, he's a bit of an underdog going in, but we shouldn't consider him one because he's dominating this race by a massive margin. He's grown his gap over Ryan Caggiano to 1.9 seconds.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he in the last couple laps here has really gained a lot of time. I mean, it's been, he was down. The 81 had it down to about a second of just so few laps ago, and now it's gone up to 1.88, and I'm sure it's going to go up on this lap as well. This 3 car absolutely flying around this racetrack.
So Alex continues to lead the way. Let's see what the gap is at the line here. Alex is just doing what he can, and the gap, let's see what it is at the line. He gains about a tenth, up to almost 2 seconds. And Yates Turzak's actually the one who's keeping pace with Alex right now. He stays at about 3.4 seconds behind. Everybody else, though, is falling well far behind. And now Alexa Lucian has clearly caught Kyle Corbett in their battle for 8.
Yeah.
And don't look now, but she could be in prime position to capitalize. If Corbett or Patrick Smith make a mistake, she could climb her way up into the top 7. But Alex continues to lead the way, and I don't think anybody's going to catch him unless something dramatic happens in the late stages of this race, as we're closing in on 10 to go.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, you know, and I think that 50 car really, like I was saying earlier, unfortunate that everything that happened on lap 1 did the way it did, because I think the 50 car could have been a bit of a contender if given the right shot up front. You know, so looking to get another couple spots here. I expect there's a chance for Alexa Lucian to get up to possibly 6th place in this race. So that would be a good recovery. And here's Yates Turzak still kicking along in 3rd place. Really, really good run for this driver in the 00 car. Great opportunity, like we were saying before, and just looking great in 3rd place. I mean, starting to gain a little bit on Ryan Caggiano.
He's on pace to get his 2nd top 5 in as many races. This is a phenomenal effort, and it could net a Rookie of the Year if he keeps this up. But still got about 12 laps to go, so anything can still happen as we take you back a bit. Aaron Hall runs in 4th all by himself. Pretty boring race for Aaron Hall right now. About 7 seconds off the lead and about 3 off from his teammate. And behind him, Joshua Michaels having a pretty boring race by himself as well. Yep. He's about 10.4 back. The Pensacola winner is a bit of a ways behind Aaron Hall, but he's pretty clear of Autumn Koger in 6th. And yep, here's Autumn Koger in 6th, leading a train of cars of about 4 strong. Is Autumn Koger, Patrick Smith in the 04, Kyle Corbett in the 66, and then Alexa Lucian back there in 9th. And they've dropped Eric Monaco in a pretty big way. He's 23 seconds off the lead. But this could be an interesting 4-car battle for this position here.
You're absolutely right. You know, this Autumn Koger here is going to really have to be careful, because there's 4 hounds trying to fight for this one spot. So it's looking like that 04 is gaining a little bit, but you know, the gains are so small, so minimal over this lap. You know, each corner, you know, you gain 100th here, 1,000th there, and then it all adds up to a couple tenths maybe. You know, every lap, and then you gain and you gain and you gain, and then you finally get there, you make your move, you slide, you don't make it work, and then you got to start all over again. It's just the name of the game at these road courses. And of course, right now the name of the game is Alex Vercheperu absolutely dominating out front.
We're coming to 10 laps to go this time, and it looks like the 2 cars that spun off in that one corner, Dylan Young and Elijah Ironhouse, have recovered moderately well. They're running 15th and 20th respectively. Man, what could have been for those 2 though if they hadn't gotten caught up in that. But that's a discussion for another time. We'll see them again in 2 weeks at Hillside for race number 3. But it's car number 3 that's leading right now, and he's built his gap in an impressive way. He's 3 seconds clear of Ryan Caggiano now.
Yeah, you know, Caggiano held on for quite some time in that 1 to 1.5 second bracket, and just fell off. So, you know, now he's trying to stay ahead of that 00, playing maybe a little bit of defense now, and that just allows Alex to get way out there. But I did notice as we went through the leaderboard that Alex is now he's 56 seconds ahead of that last place car, which only means he's getting closer and closer to some lap traffic. Like I said, I don't know if there's enough time in this race to catch him, even after what happened on lap 1. But this, you know, a very strong run nonetheless, and I don't think that there will be any hindrance from lap vehicles in this one.
So the battle now is for 2nd on the racetrack and for 6th, but there's no doubt who's going to be in command of this race. Barring a serious catastrophe for this 3-car, we now have 9 laps to go in this race, and Alex is just extending his gap more and more. It's up to 3 1/4. over Ryan Caggiano, who's doing the best he can and is by no means a bad road racer.
Yeah.
He's just got nothing for this 3-car right now.
Absolutely, you know, and it's not like a catastrophe can't happen, you know. I mean, it's all about, you know, don't get complacent right now. You know, you don't want to let yourself feel too confident. You don't want to feel like you're so in control of the situation that you know, you start to lose your touch or whatever. And I don't expect that to happen, but you know, nobody expects it to happen, and that's the problem. That's what leads to it happening. So it's the type of situation where you just have to race out there like you're trying to pull away from somebody the whole time, and like it's not enough, that you have to get more. And that's exactly why the gap keeps growing and growing, because Alex is out there trying to gain more time, trying to find places to gain time. Of course, he's not pushing it so hard he's going to wreck it, but he's not trying to let off, and he's not he can't let himself fall into a place where he feels like he's got it in the bag, because as soon as you start to think that, you don't have it in the bag anymore.
So we've got 8 laps to go in this race. Alex has led all 23 laps so far. He now has the most laps led of the season at this point, because no one in the Nitro National race at Pensacola last week, none of them led more than, I believe, 18 laps. So now Alex is on top of that as well, and he's looking to vault back up the points ladder, because he needs a good run, because he entered this race at minus 18 points, behind all the people that failed to qualify at Pensacola. So now he's just looking to vault back up the points ladder, and as we look back through the rest of the field to see where your favorite drivers are running in this race, and now it looks like, yeah, 58 seconds off the lead is the last place runner, Nathan Meyer, in the 5, who's now 59 seconds off the lead. Lap traffic doesn't look like it's going to be a factor, but if these back markers have some issues of their own, you never know, because this is a fast road course, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, you know, they're only 10 seconds ahead of Alex right now, so if they were to have a big slide, maybe an excursion like they had on lap 1, of course, there's a couple of dangerous spots on this track that we know people start to slide around on. We can see the skid marks every time these guys go through. Right there, you know, there they all are. A bunch of cars have slid right there. If that happens to one of those guys who's only 59 seconds back, you know, that's that could cause issue for these leaders. But again, it's a rare case for something like that to happen, and yeah, it's looking really good for the number 3 car.
And now this is the battle for second between Ryan Caggiano, the defending champion, and Yates Turzak, in only his second series start, taking it to the defending series champ. So Ryan Caggiano can't get complacent either, because if he does, that double zero is just going to blast past him in a big hurry. So it's Caggiano running second by about 3.5 seconds behind the race leader. Yates Turzak's about another second behind him. I think, I just don't, Caggiano's just losing more and more time, and unless something big and bad happens to that number 3, Caggiano's going to have to settle for second. He's still looking for his first road course win, is Ryan Caggiano, which is a bit of a surprise considering how good he is at those, but just goes to show the parity of this field. Anything can happen in this series. We said it yesterday at Maycon, so for the truck series. So it just goes to show these series are so diverse. You can get anybody running at the front of these things and winning these things. You have the guy last in points leading this race. It just goes to show. You
know, and he's on a team that had such horrible luck. I mean, but just crashing at super speedways almost every time, and then you go to a road course and nobody can touch him. That's just the ups and downs of this sport the whole time. So yeah, it's crazy.
Looking back through the field now, you see Autumn Koger still leading that train of 4 cars. She's got Patrick Smith. She's exactly 20 seconds off the lead now, but she's got Patrick Smith right behind her. She's got Kyle Corbett right behind him, and Alexa Luchon still closing in on this group. Passing's proven to be quite difficult here, but It's not impossible, as we saw earlier, when that group scattered around the spinning cars of Young and Ironhouse. But just goes to show, you never know what can happen. Here's Eric Monaco. He's well off the pace, but he's still hanging in there in the final top 10 position, 28 seconds off the leaders right now. And then here's the two Motor Dash Racing veterans of Chris Lattimore running directly in front of his teammate Logan Williams. They're having a pretty solid run, running 11th and 12th right now. So, and if Eric Monaco stumbles at all, these two could be in contention for the final top 10 spot here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. These two cars are just hanging on. That's all it is in this race. Hang on, see if you can make it to the end, and see what happens once you get there. And,
here's one hanging on right now. Hayes Green in the 51 after a DNF at Pensacola. He's having a really good run in this Grant Racing machine. And ahead of him, or behind him, I should say, is the Team Dayspring entry of Zachary DeLello, running just ahead of Dylan Young, who we expected to be doing pretty well. And how about these guys? Cam Cole in his series debut. He failed to qualify at Pensacola. He's doing a really good job running 16th here. Chavis Mitchell in the 40. He's running 17th in his series debut. Braden Red after a DNF last week. He's 18th. And then here's another one, Bentley Schaefer in the 46. He's having a very strong run in his series debut. 19th, right ahead of Elijah Ironhouse, who never quite managed to recover from that early spin. But he's hanging in there just inside the top 20, 45 seconds off his teammate. Santiago Alvarez currently 21st, ahead of Tyler Ferris, who had impressed many at Pensacola before having to pit late. And there's Kian Rivers. I mispronounced his name last week, and I'm very sorry about that. But he runs ahead of Rakshya Mahendra in the 6. He had a good run at Pensacola. So did James Wells. He's 25th. And then here's Herbert Oaks the 3rd in the 90 for Incendia Motorsports, making their series debut as a team and driver. They run 26th at the moment, with Austin Tyler, James Wells' teammate, running right behind Oaks. Tyler runs 27th at the moment, ahead of Ricky Freeman Jr. These guys running at the back end of the top 30. This is a bit of a surprise. Ricky Freeman Jr., he's no slouch in good equipment, so it's a bit of a surprise to see him back here, as is Glenn Mixon. He's a bit of a surprise. And AJ Jones, he's doing not too great either in 30th. David Byers in 31st. Keon Daly 32nd after damage. Cody Goforth, he's 33rd on the racetrack. He never managed to quite recover from his poor starting spot, but he's right in front of his teammate Ryan Arnold in 34th. Now we head into the cars that are over a minute behind the race leaders at this point in time. We're closing in on the end of the race, but they've already fallen a minute behind, and that is David Byers in the 56, right behind Ryan Arnold. There he is in 35th. And Talon Soper is a big surprise. We expected him to be really good here, but he runs 36th ahead of Nathan Meyer in 37th. John McFadden's 3 laps down in 38th, and that takes us all the way back to Alex Vergepperoux, our race leader, who is about 1.5 laps away from getting his first win of the season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's lots of interesting things happening through this field, and man, he was close to catching those guys in the back. I mean, that absolutely incredible performance today. Just astonishing speed from this 3 car, and to be only about 7 seconds away from catching the lap cars after about 30 laps on a track where you set a minute 10 long laps. That's pretty impressive after just so few laps. So it's a good day for Alex Vergepperoux. That's for sure, and a much needed one. Absolutely.
You could see Nathan Myers actually running directly ahead of Alex and ahead of John McFadden as well. We're coming to the white flag, and we could be on pace for another shutout by Alex Vergepperoux. His last win at Valkenburg was a total shutout, and we're going to see one here potentially. The white flag is out. We got one more lap to run.
Yeah, and he only needs this one more lap to make it happen. Of course, he's 5 seconds ahead of Ryan Caggiano. He's got nobody ahead to worry about. He's got nobody behind to worry about. In fact, they're almost equivalent distances away from him. He's on his own little island right now between them. and he has just had a stellar, consistent day. No missteps, no, he's been using the brakes today, which is great. And man, oh man, this is a great performance for this whole team, and a well-needed motivation boost for sure.
Coming down the long back straightaway for the final time in this race, Alex Verjep looking to lead every lap for the second time in his career. He did it at Valkenburg, of course, 1 year ago. That track is gone from the schedule, but I'm sure he'll love Road Atlanta just as much, if not more, because he led a lot more laps here than he did there. And now he's about only a few corners away from getting that victory. Coming through the final set of corners for the final time. Down the hill, through the final corner, it's Alex Verjep with a commanding win to make up lost points. He wins the Rolex 250 at Road Atlanta. Ryan Caggiano 5 seconds back in second. Yates Turzak comes home third for another top 5 from his season. Aaron Hall comes home fourth. And Joshua Michaels, the Pensacola winner, gets his second top 5 in as many races in fifth. Autumn Koger leads home of that train of 4 we kept an eye on all race long. She is 6 ahead of Patrick Smith, Kyle Corbett, Alexa Lushon in 9, and Eric Monaco over half a minute behind will round out the top 10 in the final position in that top 10. But today, it belonged to Alex Verjep from start to finish. He didn't crack under the pressure of the chaotic opening lap, and he just held the lead the rest of the way. A dominant win by Alex in the 3.
Absolutely right. It's the place you want to be, right up top. And he stayed there the whole day, first place, all the way, practice, qualifying, and the entire race. A perfect weekend for Alex Verjep. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations to the whole team, and time to have a rest week, and this will be one that we can celebrate for just a little bit longer with an off week coming up.
Yep, he didn't quite get a grand slam. Ryan Caggiano took the fastest lap from him, but he's looking to head into the off weeks with some momentum, and he looks like he wants to keep going. He wants to keep rolling around, or maybe they just don't have much experience getting onto the pit lane here.
Nobody knows where it is.
So they're just cycling around. They're just trying to burn off some excess fuel here on this.
When does the race end?
No, it's not going to end anytime soon. But the official results are in, and it is Alex Verjep winning this race. Oh, and it looks like Patrick Smith had a little bit of difficulty getting on the pit lane. And I guess if you're going to have a torn-up race car, you might as well have it at the end of the race. Logan Williams was another one that met the end of the pit wall. I'm sure we'll have this sorted out by the time we return here next year, if we do, of course. And yeah, these guys are just having a bit of a time here. We sure do live in quite a time here in the One Up Nitro National Series. Keaton Rivers, another one. But like we said, the race is over. You can afford this a little bit. Your position's locked in, and now you can look forward to the next race, which is in 2 weeks' time at Hillside Speedway out in Massachusetts. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. We saw a lot of great racing there last year in both the Superstar Series and the Nitro National Series. This year, the Nitro National Series has it all to itself, so I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun there as well. Final thoughts. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of thoughts from this race, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of time to talk about them. But we're running out of time here. So, from Duke Ansack and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Road Atlanta and the Rolex 250, where it is Alex Verjep who took a commanding flag-to-flag victory. He's made up a lot of points. We'll see if he can do it again at Hillside in 2 weeks' time.